All right, welcome back, guys. Appreciate it. So, just to pick up where we left off, so like why I thought I was so fucking cool. So keep in mind I'm fucking 20. I want to say by this time, 7, 21. So I was like 22 years old. Yeah, so I'm 22 years old, and this rich hot ass girl I'm with is 31 or 32. And so I thought I was a fucking shit, dude. I'm hanging out in mansions, fucking smoking blunts in the pool, in the fucking house. It was just fucking crazy. And it was like I thought I was a fucking rap star, you know what I'm saying? That was like legit how it felt. And then after that, I started getting into personal development, and I'm just fucking, like, oh, backtrack a little. How can I even forget this? Another thing I'm into is surfing. I fucking love surfing. Oh, and I forgot to mention all my street bikes. I forgot. That's a whole nother thing, but I love street bikes too. So I started surfing actually right after I broke my neck. So I started surfing in November of 2008. And I started surfing in San Diego winter storm water, which, if you guys know, then you fucking know. That's just pretty damn gnarly, especially to be a fucking brand new beginner fucking Barney. I wasn't even a kook yet, dude. I was just a full-on Barney, dude. But what I did was I was so fucking hooked and so determined, and like, why in the first place was because the doctor, he banned me from riding motorcycles, skateboarding, or surfing. And when he told me surfing, I was like, like, I grew up in a town of Asian gangsters. Like, nobody fucking surfs, like, I don't even know anybody who surfs. So what I did was I went up on a board, a fucking Costco board, a Wavestorm, Team Wavestorm, shout out. And Wavestorm, yo, and fucking, I literally went every single day for an entire year straight. Literally every single day. I broke my fingers. I broke my pinky fingers 6 times. I would just fucking tape it to a popsicle stick or a plastic spoon, and then fucking wrap the whole thing up, and then I would throw on one of those bodyboarding gloves where it's like it separates your fingers, but I would stuff 2 fingers into one hole so it would hold it even more secure, and that way I could still paddle without putting all the pressure on the rest of my hand. But I look like a fucking maniac because I have a suit that's an extra large, and I'm a large. And if you're a surfer, you know how big of a difference that is. It's like a gigantic difference. Like, your suit can suffocate you if it's that big of a size difference and the wave hits you. Like, it'll literally go over your head. So what would happen is, like, my suit would inflate. I'd be walking around with the Kool-Aid Man fucking, like, legs and everything. Like, it would just be filled with water and be like flubber and shit. And so I had that, and of course it was the kook ass colors too, where it's like that off gray, where like the main suit's like this weird black, and then it has like weird blue in it, and then like this weird gray. It's like this blue and gray that's this particular, like, yo, I'm an off-brand suit. Like, you can spot it a mile away once you like know wetsuits and stuff. So I had the kook ass wetsuit that's too big, the fucking one bodyboarding glove I would have one hand broken, and I had a fucking big blue Wavestorm with 0 instructions. So yeah, all I had was stubbornness. So like, and just determination, I guess, because I just kept fucking going. Once I rode once for like a couple seconds, I'm like, yo, this is the shit. Like, hooked, dude, hooked. Like they say, once you get bit by the surfing bug, you're infected for life, and that's a fucking fact, man. So that's how I started surfing, and I actually even started teaching surf lessons on the side. Well, by request, I should say, because that kind of keeps the spirit of it alive for me. Surfing is almost like a spiritual. See, not like, it is a spiritual experience for me when I go out. So it's not something I want to sell. I just want to give it to people who seek it. Yeah, so it's interesting because I started going so much, people were just like, yo, can you teach me? I'll pay you. So that's another thing I firmly believe in, is like, if you do what you love to the fullest, people will just start paying you. And that's what I'm trying to do here with this podcast too, honestly, is like, I've had so many crazy experiences that people are like, you really did that? And I'm just like, yeah, dude. Like, and I know people, and there is people who do even crazier shit, and I want to pick the brains of those people, you know. So that ties back into like this whole ego part of me is like, I want to where was I going? Me thinking I'm all cool. You know, the hot older girl. Oh, driving around nice cars, smoking a lot of weed. Oh my god, I was smoking like an ounce a week, dude. Like a zip a week back when a zip was like 350 standard. That stupid. Yeah, it was stupid. Um, so and this was back in like 2000. Well, shit, I was already smoking fat back in the day, but like I don't know, 2008. So it was still like pretty illegal, you know. Um, but yeah, I was smoking fucking, I don't know, anywhere from like 5 to 12 blunts a day and just fucking going ham. Back then, we would fucking roll up an eighth backwood, and it had to be an eighth. If it was anything less than an eighth, it couldn't go in a backwood. And just a little history lesson for you people. If you don't know, a lot of these youngsters are out here smoking backwoods, and they don't even know why they're smoking backwoods. Why are you smoking backwoods? Why? Do you even know why? Because your homies like, yeah, because fucking you heard somebody say it. Like, do you know why? Where did it come from? Who started it? Come on, you guys. If you don't know this, you ain't a fucking West Coast hip hop fan or a real West Coast pothead. Because the answer is Mac motherfucking Dre. Mac Dre. We smoke backwoods because of Mac Dre. Period. If it ain't a backwood, it ain't all that good. So what I'm saying is, the reason is because Mac Dre in his songs would mention, we smoke backwoods because it's the most expansive. And that's why. It's just a flex. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people out here smoking it, and they'll be like, oh no, those ones are too expensive, I'm gonna smoke a fake backwood. And it's like, or, oh, these backwoods are cheaper. And it's like, bro, hold on. If your backwoods are cheaper, what? The whole point is to flex. Like, that's the whole fucking point of smoking a backwood, is the flex. Like, yeah, you can enjoy them, and you can and have a preference to them, obviously. But that was why you would buy them, because back in the day it would cost $12 for a pack when Swishers weren't even $5 a pack. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's where that comes from. So if you don't know, go listen to some Mac Dre and get gamed up, because you're fucking tripping if you're trying to grow up in California or a rap fan and not know Mac Dre. Like, that's like me. You heard when I was mentioning who I like for music, like, I didn't throw in like East Coast rappers, but it's like, come on, dude. Like, of course I know who KRS-One is. Like, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. It's like, there's just some shit you should know. You know? Like, so going, I don't even know how I got off on that tangent, but what I was gonna say was like, so I started doing a lot of personal development work back in 2012. I started that. I started doing meditation, going to meditation retreats. I started, would do mushroom ceremonies, psilocybin, do fucking ayahuasca ceremonies. I'd be out in the jungles in Peru. I would be out in the jungles in Hawaii. I can't say what I was doing, but I can say I was out there and I worked with some medicines, and I partook in DMT ceremony. That was incredible. Ayahuasca helped guide me through that, and meditation helped guide me through all of that. So that's going to be its own whole fucking episode, because that's some crazy shit. So so I started going on that journey, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I started really realizing that like everything in my life was kind of like my fault, my choice, my decision. So how this kind of all ties together a little bit, which I'm surprised I was able to actually do this, is like, these choices, so me telling myself I was dumb when I was a kid, me telling myself, yo, never again am I getting fucked with. You know, I made those decisions. This is who the fuck I am. I'm grown the fuck up. And what I made those decisions, and that's who I was since I was 6 years old. So what I would do is all the decisions and choices I would make in life as an adult, you know, anywhere, well, until I started doing personal development stuff in like 2012, was like, it was all choices and decisions of a 6-year-old. I was acting out everything in my life as a hurt 6-year-old. Wrong sound effect.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
But that's some real shit. Play that back, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'll play that song for you, by the way. My son made that. It's fucking ill. Anyway, side note. So, you know, going back to the point was like, yo, like, how many other things am I living out in my adult life as a fucking child? And I started tracing back like my earliest memories. Like, when's the first time I ever felt this feeling? And that's how I was able to uncover, like, yo, when I was in 2nd grade, this incident that happened when I got laughed at, my teacher called me out, blah, blah, blah. I decided I was dumb. Holy shit. Did I ever feel like that before that? And then I start going back. Okay, when my sister died, like, I kind of felt voiceless. And that's kind of the same, like, feeling inside as feeling dumb. And then I'm like, okay, well, when did I first experience that even? Like, when, like, how early can I trace this back to? And what I realized was that the first time I ever felt voiceless and, like, powerless, I was a little kid in Claremont, and I was maybe, like, 6 years old. And I had wanted orange juice. And I kept pointing. I had no words. And I just kept pointing and pointing and pointing. Maybe I was, like, 8 or 11 months old. I don't know. I was under 1 year old. And I kept pointing and pointing and pointing and trying to tell my mom. And she's picking me up. She's walking me around the whole house, pointing to everything except orange juice. And my dad's trying to, like, this, that, and I'm just like, I'm like freaking out, I'm crying, but like, and it's weird because I remember this, and like, I couldn't say what I wanted. And that was the start of like, yo, I'm invisible, I'm voiceless. So that's why as soon as some big trauma happened in my life, I went straight to like, yo, I'm invisible and I'm voiceless. That's what I made everything mean. And then I started looking at life like, yo, what did I make things mean? All these things in my life, what did I make it mean? You know, me getting cheated on, what did I make that mean? I made it mean that, yo, fuck her. Yo, like, fuck relationships, fuck this, like, you know, it created this whole, like, what did I make it mean? You know what I'm saying? So once I realized, holy shit, I made all this stuff mean this. As soon as I realized that, it led to, like, me being able to take personal responsibility for myself. And that was when I would look at my ex and be like, yo, you cheated on me? I fucking caused that, dude. I take responsibility for you doing that. Not like I fucking drove you there and made you do anything, you know, but I've pushed you to need to even feel like that, think like that, or consider that. I wasn't being considered enough to treat you like the queen you are and to treat you like the goddess that you are. And I just didn't have enough skills to do that. And it's like, and I didn't do that and I didn't deliver that. So of course, and it's like, if you're going to come at me the way that I was coming at her, like I'm not going to say I would do the same things. I'm not a cheater, but like I would, you know, I don't know. I understand because I would be asking shit like after school. It's like, this is the end of high school at the time, you know, I'd be like, yo, like what guys did you talk to today? Yo, let me see your text messages. Who's this online? Blah, 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 blah. What did such and such mean when they said this? Like, that's how I was. I was just looking for something to be like, yo, you did me wrong. I was just constantly looking for like, yo, how'd you do me wrong? How'd you do me wrong? And that's what I was looking for. And it was like, I didn't know I was doing that, you know? But looking back and doing a lot of personal development is like, yo, I totally was doing that. I'm the asshole. Holy shit. I don't blame her at all. Not at all. I don't even believe in blame or fault, to be honest. That's a whole nother thing is like, I fully believe in personal responsibility. And it's like when we blame people or fault others, it just doesn't work, you know? And obviously it's easier said than done because it's easy to still go and like do that or blame somebody in a roundabout way where it's not directly blame, you know? So anyways, fast forward a little bit, like also what stroked my ego and why I thought I was so cool is because it was like my story was unique. And people would find me fascinating when I would explain that to them. And that was just like a big deal. And like I'd be in personal development classes and people would be like, yo, like, wow, your life is crazy. And I'm like in front of like 300 people. And I was like, damn, that's a trip, you know? But then I realized that like I said earlier, like we all go through the same amount of suck, you know? And if it wasn't for me, somebody dying, for somebody else, it was like them getting their Nintendo taken. It was just as traumatic, you know? It was the way we feel. It wasn't the actual nature of the event. It's really the way we feel that we're left with that matters. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like some people go through crazy shit and they're just going, yeah, whatever, you know? So within that space, like I started sharing, I started being open, I started being honest, I started like taking responsibility. I started, let me make sure I say started, because this is something I work on majorly, and this is even part of why my last relationship failed. But so then again, I'm like thinking I'm all fucking cool because I'm like honest about my life. I'm open. I got no fucking secrets. I got no weird shit in the background. Like I am who the fuck I am, you know? And I'm on this really huge personal growth tip, and I'm like making good money. I'm just like, life is cool, you know? I'm having fun. I started getting good at surfing. I'm, you know, decent at motorcycles. I had some cool toys. All this shit, you know, I had my dream truck. I had all this shit, and like I end up again with a super duper hot rich girl who's older. This time, what, 24? Yeah, I want to say I was 20. Yeah, because I was with her for almost 2 years. So like, yeah, I was like 24, and she wouldn't let me know how old she was for a while actually, but I was 24, she was 41. Yeah. So I was 22, she was 41. She's like a few years younger than my parents. I'm like, yo, this is a trip, bro. Like, fuck, dude. That was interesting, but she was cool, you know, and it was like, she had her shit. I could easily put it all on her, but I'm not going to do that, and I won't do that, you know? And it was around her that actually, like, through that relationship, I don't even want to call it failing, because I don't think the universe makes mistakes. Like anything else that didn't work out, it wasn't supposed to work out. That person, that thing, that time frame was just a life lesson. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't work out, and that's cool. And like I think we're just too similar, and our egos were kind of too big, and like I don't know. I didn't know how to listen for one too. That was one thing. I would always be listening to say something or to fix something. I wasn't listening just to listen. It was always to like have a response or to fix something or to be like, oh, my story's crazier. And you know, so like, and then again, same thing, driving around a brand new Beamer, 20 fucking whatever the year was, Beamer, you know, and like I just thought I was so fucking cool again, you know, and it's like I kind of was, but at the same time not really. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I just realized like, fuck man, I don't know what the fuck's going on, you know? So I don't know, I'm just like going through all this personal development, personal growth, all this shit, and I really realized like one thing I learned from my homie Pablo who passed away was like, so his uncle had said at the funeral, like, yo, to see Pablo be his truest self was to see him interact with kids, because he was like a hard ass Mexican gangster, and he was like hard, and but when he was a kid, he was like the most gentle. Like he would roll around on the floor playing with toys. Like he was just silly, and like he didn't give a fuck. Like he was so hard that he didn't care if you judged him acting like a child with a kid, you know, or like little cousins or whatever. And that really led me and pointed me to like, yo, like fucking kids is where it's at, dude. Like working with kids, helping, you know, like this is where it's at. So like I graduated out of getting in trouble and all this shit, being around the wrong people, the wrong crowds, and like, you know, finally it's like, fuck, I start like family life, you know, and that was interesting, man. And this kind of like comes back up to where I'm at currently. Is like I was with my last girl for, like I said, about 6 years, and technically, and it's my son. Nate is my fucking son, but like technically, just for the sake of transparency, Jen had Nate prior to me meeting her. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say her name, but sorry. It's nothing but love. It's nothing but love. So before I met my girl, I had is she had Nate, and I met him when he was 8 years old. And it's like we fucking bonded fast, and we teach each other so much. Like, that's my fucking son. Like, no matter what, dude, like, that is my boy. Like, that's my fucking son. And we just fucking, man, we've been through so much together, all of us. And then eventually we had my son Royal, our son Royal. He's almost 2 now. And we just been struggling, man. Like, communication broke down. I stopped taking her on dates. I stopped doing fun shit, and that in turn led her to just like not wanting to do stuff or express herself or whatever, and then all the times that I would be like trying to fix something in a conversation or argument rather than just listen, it's like I can see how that pushed her away and like creates distance and like creates distrust within communication. And like once communication's broken, it's hard to like go from there, We just kept like trying and trying and trying to like we were trying everything, we went to counseling, we had several different counselors, and no matter what, it just wasn't working out. And it's like I have so much love for her, and I'll always love her, and she's an amazing person, and like I know that I could easily point the finger and be like, oh, this doesn't work because you this and this. But at the same time, like I said, I do my best, and I don't believe in blame, and like I can only take responsibility for myself. And again, this was one of my greatest fears, is to not be with my kid's mother. I used to think about that as a kid, actually, even though my parents stayed together for a long time, but I would freaking, man, I don't know. Like, I kind of started going through my shit. She was going through her shit. And eventually it was just too much. And like, we kind of noticed we're being a bad example for the kids. And like, I always want to do my best to live on an authentic life. And I know she does too. So the whole point is to be like a good example and to be happy, fun, open, expressive, loving people. And like, for whatever reason, when we come together, it just doesn't turn out that way. It's like it's all love, or it's like, or we just get into it, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, we're not setting a good example by like forcing this at this point. You know what I mean? That's not the example I want for our kids, or that we want for our kids. So it's like, yo, we need to do the best thing possible, and like, you know what I'm saying? Just do what's best for the kids. And like, what's best for the kids is what's best for ourselves. And that's one thing I firmly believe in, is like, we have to do things for ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves, number one. We have to. And it's easy to like get out of a relationship, want to go jump into a new one and all of that. And just like, that's running away, and that's on some punk shit, like, it's not about that. Like, you got to actually sit down and I think feel the pain and like process through this shit, like, we're supposed to fucking cry. We're supposed to feel pain. We're supposed to all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like what was told to me is like, how can you be a real man if you don't know how to cry? If you don't know how to feel sad, if you don't know how to take the time to fucking work through how you feel, how can you be a real man? Because a real man can feel all range of emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn, dude.
that's some real shit though. Like, it needs to, that's just how it needs to be. You know what I mean? So currently where I'm at is I'm fucking broke as a joke. This COVID corona shit has fucked up work pretty substantially. Back at my fucking original house I grew up in. It's a little different behind me now and whatever and around, because it's been remodeled and I've been gone for years. Excuse me. And I'm just like sucking up my pride and like, fuck, doing what I gotta do. And starting this podcast, like the Damn Dude podcast, like, this is some real shit. This is, to me, the impossible, because speaking up and speaking on camera and being somebody who's been judged as mute, or literally that I don't know how to talk, I've had that shit said to me over my whole life. Like, for me to get on here and speak and share is like, that's the impossible for me. So like I said, it scares the shit out of me, and that's why I'm gonna do this and why I'm doing this. Like I said, you'll see me get nervous, you'll see me freak out in some interviews, you'll see me fucking start tripping. and different shit like that. But it's all fucking good. It scares me, and being nervous and excited and scared is all the exact same chemical reaction in our body. It's just a matter of what our brain decides to do with and interpret, and how it chooses to interpret that information. So every time I'm scared, I just say I'm fucking excited and let's fucking go. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got some fucking dope ass interviews coming. I absolutely promise you on my life. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate you guys' listening, and I appreciate you guys' support. So if you enjoyed this, you got anything out of it, if you have any questions that you want me to respond to, or shout out on a live podcast episode, leave them on Apple iTunes. Leave a 5-star review and leave your comment or questions, and I'll go through them and I'll read them on the show. And make sure you get your question answered or your shout out handled or whatever it may be. And yeah, man, that would be fucking greatly appreciated. Yeah, I fucking love you guys. I appreciate it. I know there's a bunch of shit I missed that I want to touch on, and it's all fucking good in the neighborhood, Holmes. So yeah, I hope you guys have the most absolutely beautiful day, night, evening, whenever the fuck you're listening to this. I'm gonna take you out with the song 10 Minutes to Mexico by Rooster Tail. That's at Rooster Tail, TALE official on Instagram. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Away, and I wanna